The flu outbreak finally eases.
It's all about capacity, and influenza season and respiratory virus season, it comes around every year.
As the province announces changes to deal with overcrowded hospitals. Calgary home sales drop.
Very frustrating. But as long as you're keeping on top of it, it will sell at some point.
Especially in a certain sector of the market. And a Calgarian gets his first shot at the Olympics.
He hugged me and he said, "Hey man, you're an Olympian." It's starting to feel like, yeah, this dream is coming true.
Canada names its long track speed skating team.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Alicia Fieldberg.
Hello and thank you for joining us. CTV News has learned new details about the man who lured and attacked a woman in her Edgemont rental property last week. Shahbaz Ahmed was killed in self-defense. We've now confirmed he previously rented out his home to a Calgary senior who suddenly disappeared and is presumed dead. In August 2022, police executed a warrant at the Falcon Ridge home. It was the last place anyone saw 71-year-old Abdul Mufti, who rented out the basement suite from Ahmed. Police identified a person of interest in the theft of Mufti's credit cards, but that person was released. Investigators would not confirm today if that person was Ahmed, nor would they link Mufti's disappearance to Ahmed. Homicide detectives say Mufti is dead. No charges have been laid, but police say the investigation remains open. And police have charged a man and teenage girl following a traffic stop in the Southwest. It happened Saturday afternoon near the intersection of 17th Avenue and 5th Street. Police say the 40-year-old driver had no license and open alcohol in the vehicle. They also found weapons, including a loaded shotgun and nearly $10,000 worth of drugs. Matthew Christian Bennett and his 16-year-old passenger are facing a number of drug and weapons charges. The province says early signs are encouraging and the brutal influenza season is finally letting up. But the work is far from done. 16 of Alberta's largest hospitals are currently over capacity, and doctors still say they need a lifeline. Tim Brooke explains what's being done to help.
Another day, another upset emergency room visitor.
You might ask for us to see a doctor, but you might not get to see him for 10 to 12 hours.
Douglas Gold, fresh out of the hospital, tells us the waits are painful and he knows of a fix.
Physicians, more nurses, better structure in the government.
The latter point was partially addressed on Thursday. For the first time since a 44-year-old man died after waiting for more than 8 hours in an Edmonton emergency room, Alberta's Minister of Hospital and Surgical Services took questions from the media. His message: assistance is coming, but it won't be in the form of a state of emergency.
We have all tools and authority necessary to manage the system.
As the flu season slowly lets up, a new physician position will be created to help triage. The focus in the days ahead will be on accelerated discharges and on spreading out patients to facilities that can handle the load.
There is province-wide coordination. There always has been, there always will be. And I would say that it's the only reason we've gotten through the bulk of respiratory virus season.
Many health workers have a different version of events. It's one where the province was warned but failed to properly plan for a bad influenza season, and one where the measures announced Thursday are only reactionary.
There's maybe a lack of knowing who the decision makers are. And that's just at a time when a system is under stress, that's just an added pressure that's not needed.
This isn't just a flu season problem. Right now we're seeing a lot of stalling, delaying, and promises that years from now there will be more acute care hospital beds.
Backed by one of Alberta's largest unions, doctors are still calling for a state of emergency. Matt Jones believes the province is capable of coordinating without.
We can, of course, do better, and we will learn and do better. But I think the teams from the hospitals all the way up to the agencies and even my department officials have done fantastic work.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
The province has ordered a fatality inquiry into the emergency room death of an Edmonton man over the holidays to find out more about the circumstances of his death and possibly give recommendations to prevent similar situations. Alberta's measles outbreak is flaring up again, with case numbers climbing after weeks of decline. Provincial data shows 27 new measles cases since last Friday, including 5 identified today. The province says the recent cases are linked to household transmission from holiday gatherings. Transmission has been trending down through the fall and early winter, but experts warn the virus is still circulating.
There are enough people in the province who are not immune to measles that we can still see low-level transmission. What we're watching for and what we're a little bit worried about is we reintroduce measles into an under-vaccinated community, and we know there are a number of pockets in Alberta that are significantly under-vaccinated. We could see, once again, larger numbers of measles cases.
The province says it's expanded immunization clinics and multi-language ad campaigns to boost vaccine uptake. More than 162,000 measles vaccines were given since the outbreak started, up 40% from the same period last year. Canada's red-hot real estate market is cooling right down, including here in Calgary. A new report from Royal LePage shows sales in our city dropped 15% year over year to end 2025. And that means property assessments are relatively steady, but some sellers are facing long waits on the market. Here's Jordan Canagan.
Those for sale signs are staying up a little longer in Calgary as home sales dip right across the country.
We know that it's not a matter of put the house on the market and we're going to have 12 offers on the first weekend. So we want to temper expectations.
A stark change from the bidding wars in booming real estate markets in years prior. A report from Royal LePage shows home prices in Calgary are down 1% overall year over year.
Construction had really come to a stall during COVID, and that really put pressure on inventory. Now that new home construction has caught up.
Sales of single-family detached homes are still mostly flat, but condos are seeing sales and prices fall sharply. Some trying to sell their units having to wait months instead of just days or weeks.
The additional wait, it was quite hard, honestly. We had the expectation to at least be moving around July or August, and then it just continued onward. So it was quite a hard wait.
The cool down is also impacting Calgary's property assessments. 600,000 notices are being sent out by the city, and the typical residential and non-residential property went up 1% for this year.
The housing supply, in the past few years, we have seen record, in terms of construction. All of those factors have helped contribute to a more balanced residential market.
Balance being seen right across the country. The Royal LePage report showing the national aggregate home price fell 1.5% in the fourth quarter of 2025 compared to the same time the year prior.
So contrary to some people's beliefs, we don't have a housing bubble that's bursting at all. We have a mild market correction, and it's in different segments, and different communities are affected differently.
Jordan Canagan, CTV News, Calgary.
Calgary's water restrictions will soon end. The city plans to activate the final pump tomorrow morning to bring the Bears Paw feeder main up to full service. The pipe has been repaired and safe drinking water is flowing through it, but Calgarians still remain under stage 4 indoor water restrictions. 16th Avenue above the main reopened today, but only one lane is open for westbound traffic. 2 homes burned to the ground in Rocky View County this afternoon. The fire started in a home under construction. The extremely windy conditions sent flames ripping through another new build as well. 3 neighboring homes had minor damage to the outsides. Fighting the fire was a team effort with crews from Rocky View, Calgary, and Chestermere. No one was hurt.
There was one worker in the home under construction, who reported the fire ended. The fire was in a different area of the structure at the time, so investigation is still working on that.
There's a fire advisory for East and West Rocky View County because of the windy and dry conditions. Now, that means no fire permits will be issued and existing permits are suspended. Calgary firefighters were also concerned about the conditions as they searched for an encampment fire. Crews responded to reports of smoke coming from the McCall Lake Golf Course this afternoon. Firefighters found the encampment fire near some trees and put it out. But it took a while to get there because the course is closed for the season. Crews were eventually able to gain access and send out the bush buggy to find it.
So it does make the access a little bit harder. Definitely with the windy conditions, we're concerned about any potential fires spreading. So we're grateful that nothing spread further from the initial fire here.
Calgary Police Service was also called in to the encampment site. And Danielle, we've been dealing with these strong winds for a couple of days now. Yeah. How long are they expected to last?
Well, they will calm down tomorrow. And the key thing is yesterday the winds were really strong, but that was out of the west. That was a Chinook flow, and that really warmed up our temperatures. So many communities broke records for new daytime highs. Today, you felt the bite in the air from that colder wind out of the north. So temperatures were not able to climb because we got cut off from the Chinook conditions. Tomorrow, we're still not going to have those winds out of the west, no Chinook conditions, but we'll still be able to get above freezing. Keep in mind, though, in the morning hours to kick off the day with a wind chill, it will feel more like -13 when off to work at school. So chilly start. We should get to +3 in the afternoon. And as you can see, the winds will be much tamer tomorrow. Out of the north, gusting 30 kilometers per hour rather than the 80 we had today. Your full forecast is just ahead.
Thanks, Danielle. Global Affairs is aware of the death of a Canadian in Iran, putting many in Calgary on edge as they fear for loved ones navigating the deadly crackdown on protests in that country.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
RCMP say a 5-year-old girl is dead after a crash involving a stolen truck near Cold Lake.
Upon arrival, emergency responders treated the injured occupants of a minivan. 5-year-old girl in the van was, very unfortunately, deceased. The other occupants of the van, a 10-year-old boy, their 27-year-old mother, and a 30-year-old male, were taken to the hospital with various injuries.
Police say a pickup was stolen 3 days earlier in Saskatchewan from someone who had offered to help the suspect. Officers found the truck about an hour after the crash. The 34-year-old Bonnyville man was arrested yesterday. He's facing a number of charges, including failing to stop at the scene of a crash causing death. RCMP called the man a prolific offender and say he was on bail for breaching a probation order. Part of Blackfoot Trail was closed this afternoon due to a crash. An SUV landed on its roof after the SUV and a car collided at Blackfoot Trail and 85th Avenue Southeast. Just before 2:30 it happened, and police say the crash caused minor injuries, but no one was taken to hospital. Investigators continue to look into what circumstances led to the collision. Iranians living in Calgary say they are devastated by the unrest in that country that's killed more than 2,000 people, including at least one Canadian. Many hope military intervention from the United States may make a difference. Stephanie Thomas reports.
Ghazal Kanlar Beg's home in Airdrie still has Christmas decorations up. Since violence erupted in Iran on December 28th, she's been worried sick for friends and family.
We completely froze. We're not ourselves anymore.
The Islamic Republic regime has carried out deadly attacks on protesters. Some estimate 2,500 people have been killed. Those grieving in Alberta say the death toll is much higher. With the internet and phone lines cut in Iran, Ghazal has no idea the well-being of countless loved ones. She says Canadian leaders need to act.
This is a critical situation for every single Iranian that is outside of the country.
She and others held a rally outside Calgary City Hall on the weekend and plan to continue weekly rallies, hoping desperately for a regime change.
I would like to Calgary and know Iranian people are fighting for the last 48 years for their freedom. And we would like to Canadian or Calgarian people are supporting us.
He and others are hoping U.S. President Donald Trump will intervene with military action and to support the exiled Crown Prince of Iran to resume leadership. One young Calgary filmmaker with strong family ties to Iran says for him, the most important story he will share is happening now in Iran.
We in the West or anywhere else around the world have no excuse to not have any hope. We've seen movements, we've seen things happening that have never happened before in the past 47 years.
And he hopes to capture history here in Canada. Stephanie Thomas, CTV News, Calgary.
And about 30,000 newcomers from Iran have settled around Calgary. Montana lawmakers are taking issue with Alberta over electricity trade practices they think are unfair. But the province says it's treating the state the same as any other neighbor. A state senator says Alberta should not be blocking Montana power from consistently coming into the province because it hurts Montana's power producers and discourages cross-border transmission investment. Alberta, meanwhile, says its rules treat Montana the same as its Canadian neighbors.
Is prioritizing their own resources in Alberta, and then external resources such as from Montana or other areas within Canada have a different standard. And this is whatever Canada does within Canada is fine, but what they're doing with Montana is against the U.S. trade agreement, and that's the issue.
Alberta's power grid isn't fully integrated with its neighboring provinces and Montana. That makes it difficult to share power between jurisdictions. Montana lawmakers believe a more integrated system would be better for residents of both sides of the border. The Alberta Electric System Operator is working towards greater integration to increase power sharing and reliability. Well, the vast majority of Canadians say they have been targeted by digital scams. New data from the Angus Reid Institute shows more than 4 in 5 Canadians say they have been contacted by scammers online or over the phone. About 30% of those people admit they did lose money or information. Only 5 to 10% of these cases are reported to authorities.
Maybe a sense that, okay, well, there's not really a lot the police can do in this scenario because perhaps it happened over the phone, over the internet. They don't know where these scammers are based.
If you've been targeted, you should report it to police, your bank, and the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre. The online survey of more than 2,000 Canadians was conducted from November 5th to 7th. The margin of error, plus or minus 2 percentage points, 19 times out of 20. Well, we broke several heat records in Alberta yesterday, but temperatures are expected to cool down. Danielle's forecast is up next.
All right, yesterday we had record-breaking heat, not just in 1, 2, 3 communities. 38 communities in the province broke records for new daytime highs. Just to name a few, Calgary got up to 16.9, shattering the record of 11.2. Claresholm 19.5, shattering the old record of 13.8. Cardston got up to 17.3, Brooks 15.8, Lethbridge 17.5. So it was a very toasty day, well above normal, and yes, record-breaking. Today, not record-breaking and significantly cooler because of that biting, chillier wind out of the north, which I know you felt out there. It says we got up to 10 degrees today. We did get up to 10 degrees, but that was at midnight. And then we cooled down throughout the day rather than warmed very much. By the afternoon, the warmest we got this afternoon in the city was 4 degrees. So quite a difference from, 16 degrees. All right, 10 degrees was the high in Victoria, 9 in Vancouver. Heading off to the east, much cooler, and they've been dealing with a huge whack of snow in southern Ontario and temperatures in those minus single digits. All right, here's a look at the wind today. Now, the key thing is not even the wind speed or the gust speed, but the direction. So we had winds out of the west yesterday, a perfect Chinook setup, and that's what got our temperatures up. Today, it's been all out of the north and northwest. That's a colder wind that dropped our temperatures, and look how gusty it got. 80 kilometers per hour is the max in Calgary, over 60 in Drumheller, 85 in Brooks, and over 90 in Medicine Hat. So basically, the closer we went east, that's where it got even gustier. Tomorrow, as you can see, much tamer wind conditions, just 40 for Medicine Hat, Lethbridge, 30 Brooks, Calgary, and Pincher Creek. Mainly still at the north, but it will start to switch at times out of the west. But we won't notice a big warm up until Saturday once again. All right, nothing to talk about. Unfortunately, even though we need the moisture, we have no real moisture in the forecast. The only thing I can point out is a few flurries, nothing significant, Saturday night. Well, many people are sleeping, and that's it in the longer term forecast here. All right, 3 degrees is our high for tomorrow. Winds out of the north at 30 kilometers per hour. Saturday is when we get a nice westerly flow that will get us back into the double digits. But after that, it will be cooler once again. So freezing mark as a daytime high for Sunday. 6 degrees for Monday and just above freezing for Tuesday. But again, that's still well above normal because normal's -3 for this time of year.
Thanks, Danielle. Canada's long track speed skating team often excels at the Olympics, and the crew headed to the Winter Games in Milan Cortina are hoping to continue that trend. The Calgary Flames played the Blackhawks in Chicago tonight.
One tie, here's a steal, moving in is Backlund, short-handed breakaway, in a long Deeks, scores!
Michael Backlund got this breakaway goal in the first period to give the Flames the lead. Calgary scored another one, winning the game against Chicago. Final score 3-1. The Flames are back home this weekend, hosting the New York Islanders. Canada's long track team for the Winter Olympics was named today, and it's a mix of veterans and youngsters. Glenn Campbell reports.
1, 2, 3, go Canada! Once again, Canada will send a strong group of long-track speed skaters to the Olympic Winter Games in Milano Cortina. Leading the way is Isabel Weideman, who won gold, silver, and bronze at the 2022 Games. Weideman's now one of the leaders on the team.
Like I went in 2018 and I was a rookie, and then in 2022 and I was kind of poised to win a bunch of medals, and now I get to go back as the veteran and hopefully pass the torch a little bit and lead some of the younger guys.
Calgarian Anders Johnson is going to the Olympic Winter Games for the first time. The 28-year-old qualified at the Olympic trials in his last race on January 3rd.
It's one race, right? And you get that one race every 4 years to qualify for the Olympics. So, the pressure's off now. I'm just so excited. And yeah, what an honor and a privilege to go out and to represent Canada at the Olympics.
For 39-year-old Ted-Jan Blauman, who has won gold and bronze at the Olympics, this will be his third and last time at the Games. And this one is going to be special because his kids will be with him.
Maybe you've already seen my kids around, but they're going to be in Milan too, and they're 6 and 3 years old. Yeah, they're at an age now that they can, really experience it. I don't know how many memories you make at 3 years old, but I hope he can remember it for the rest of his life.
For veterans like Weideman and Blauman, the goal is to bring home some more hardware.
Gold. I want to win. That's always the goal. And I'm going to give it everything I have.
Had a lot of success on the World Cup circuit this year, and so I'm really curious to see kind of how that's going to go at the Games. And it's the same competitors, the same event, so yeah, I'm excited and hoping to push the podium.
Glenn Campbell, CTV Sports, Calgary.
The other Calgarian going is Brooklyn McDougall. This will be her second Olympics. The 2026 Winter Games run from February 6th to the 22nd in Italy. Calgary is hosting a national ringette tournament this weekend. This is the 40th year for the Esso Golden Ring Tournament. And last night at the Seton YMCA, a couple of the U16 teams were preparing. More than 180 teams and 2,600 players from across the country will be taking part. The tournament starts tomorrow and wraps up on Sunday. Thanks for staying up late with us.